Now Ayrshire Radio Podcast presents Ayrshire Insights with Elliot Boyce.
We have a brilliant guest on today's show for this week's Local Legend Spotlight. This man has helped build one of Ayrshire's most successful merchants from the ground up. He's known for his leadership, his graft, and the way he shaped MKM Kilmarnock into a genuine Ayrshire success story. I'm delighted to welcome co-director of MKM Kilmarnock, Mr. Colin Ego. Colin, a massive thanks for coming on the show this morning.
Not at all. Thanks for having me.
So before we find out about how it all started, it is a Sunday, so most people have the frying pan and the kettle on. So the big question is, are you a tomato sauce or brown sauce man?
Tomato.
Tea or coffee?
Tea.
And the big one, what is your go-to Sunday morning roll?
Scone and sausage.
You can't
With tomato sauce, obviously.
And you can't miss the tomato sauce. You know a lot about a person from their Sunday morning roll routine, but we're going to find out a lot more about Colin very soon.
You're listening to Ayrshire Insights with Elliot Boyce.
Now Ayrshire Radio.
I'm chatting with Colin Ego, co-director of MKM Kilmarnock, and we're hearing how the journey began. So Colin, take us right back. Where did you grow up?
My first 8 years were in Dundee, and then I moved through Kilmarnock when my father got a job at a credential insurance company.
All right. So where you grew up, what school did you go to?
I went to the Bentinck Primary, which is no longer there. And then after that, I went to Kilmarnock Academy, which that school is no longer a school there.
So you've been through that in your school, Kilmarnock Academy. What was your first ever job?
My first ever job was self-created, which was about 14, 15 years old. And I set up a window cleaning round and in the streets round about me. Because my dad basically told me, if you want some money, go and earn it. So I bought a big ladder, got a bucket and started trying doors.
Brilliant. Now, you growing that from 14, 15 years old, at what point did you hang up the ladders and move on to something else?
As soon as I left school at 16, after a conversation with a teacher, I forget one very well with, Colin went in his office one day and said, "Hey, what's your plans after fourth year?" And I told him I was thinking of getting a job. And he says, "Knowing what you are and what your limitations are, son, I think leaving the school is a good plan for you." So I went and started my working career.
Brilliant. So to take it through school wasn't really something that you enjoyed as much, and you were just a grafter wanting to work?
Oh, I don't know about grafter. I enjoyed sport at school. That was my main thing. I'm dyslexic, and back in these days, that was a bit of a problem. So I left school with 4 O grades in the way you go in the old days, but I wasn't a scholar. Enjoyed the sport, and I don't think school was that bothered about senior back in there, from being honest. I was popular enough, I was nice enough, but I wasn't a scholar.
So moving on there, so once you left school, what line of work did you get into then?
I bounced about for a couple of years, but when I was 18, I saw an advert for an office job with Johnson's and Payton in Green Street in here.
Right.
We're a builders merchants, quite an established builders merchants, and that's where I really started the builders merchant story down here at 18 years old.
So have you stuck to building merchant all your days, or have you moved out of the industry? Yeah.
No, I moved out briefly, but it was into the timber merchants, so pretty much the same industry.
Same industry, right. We're going to find out more about the big wins and the big lessons, and we want to hear the story about MKM Kilmarnock. We're going to do that just after this.
Tune in live every Sunday from 10 a.m. for Ayrshire Insights with Elliot Boyce.
Only on Now Ayrshire Radio.
Now Ayrshire.
We are still with Colin Ego, co-director of MKM Kilmarnock. We've heard about the early days, so now let's talk about the business journey. So Colin, tell us a story. How did you get in about MKM Kilmarnock, and where did it all start?
It started quite a few years ago. MKM at the time, their policy for opening branches was identifying people that they thought could do the job for them. They then approached you, you found the site, they would then build the site, and basically you run it. And that's where it started. But it started when the company that I worked for in Ayrshire was a company called First Stop Builders Merchants, and I was a director in there. And we had been bought out by our national builders merchants, and I was approached by MKM to see if I would be interested in setting up a local branch either in Fermanagh or in Ayr. It took a while to get that off the ground, about 8 years in the making, between problems with planning, problems with the economy, some problems with my health. And it took a bit of time to get us here, but eventually in late 2018, myself and my co-director Matthew eventually got walking in through the doors of a new venture.
So just to understand the business model, so MKM is a national, but it's got local branches. So is it essentially, how is it run? Is it in a franchise model, or you
like a franchise? They would hang you for the rafters for saying they're a national, because we're very, very much an independent, but we have branches all over the country. We're about 140 now. So yes, you can. It's modelled on a type of franchise. They identify you, they give you what you want, which is extremely difficult. You couldn't do it yourself, because you're looking at a 2-acre site that have a large builders merchants. Extremely expensive to set up. You don't get the buying deals, so they have all the backing behind them, and they let you come in and you run your own business as you would run your own business. And they give you a share of business for doing that.
Brilliant. So you've got essentially your own profit and loss, your own balance sheet, your own way of trying to operate it. Do you have, is there a lot of engagement then from MKM as the company side, or are you kind of left to your own devices?
MKM support centre in Hull are always there to help you, but they never interfere with the running. As long as you're doing a decent job, they're there to help. They're not there to interfere. And they have departments, personnel, they have HR, they have health and safety, they have guys who can talk about figures, sales, and they're there to bounce ideas off her. Or if you feel you're struggling or you're wanting a fresh perspective on things, and they are very, very helpful. And they've never interfered yet in over 7 years. Everything Green Matthews asked for, we've got it, being honest with you.
It sounds like a great company to be a part of. Now, going through your journey, clearly it took a bit of time to get things set up, which is understandable with the size of the site. What would you say your first big win has been? The moment you realised, you know what, this is going to work?
Sitting down with David Colin, who's the founder of MKM, an office in Glasgow, late one night with me and Matthew. We went up with a big business plan all ran out, suited and booted, to sail on the dream of Colin and Matthew. It didn't go quite that way. He's a very, very down-to-earth guy. And the meeting was about, did he look at us and see two guys that he could work with? The business plan never came out. We chatted for an hour and a half. We watched a race on the laptop to hear a horse running in, and he'd come to a chap called Greg Miller, who sort of facilitated the whole project, and said, that's fine, can we get that staple hook for these guys, please? And it was as simple as that. The business plan never came out of the folder.
So it just shows, I mean, his model has been carry work with the people, not really. I mean, anybody can really put anything down in a business plan, but really the face value, meeting somebody and having that conversation, something that's probably missing now, where you get people that are very quick and hide behind emails, but you can't beat that handshake, the face to face.
As he told us later on, he had already done his due diligence on me, on Matthew. He'd reached out to companies in Ayrshire that he knew, people he knew, and said, if I'm going to put a site in Ayrshire, are these the guys I want to go with? And fortunately, there's enough people out there thought it was a good idea. And away we went. He just wanted the high meet to say, no, I can work with you guys, and can you work with me? And away we went. And that is the guy, you see, it's a very people-driven company. Treat others as you would like to treat yourself. And be a bit different. Don't be entrepreneurial. Don't be silly, we're here to help you. We're here to bad head. But set up something better than what's out there. Set up in a way you would like to be treated. As I say, treat others the way you would treat yourself. Have personal relationships with customers, personal relationship with suppliers, and make the thing about people and people again. And as you say, not hiding behind emails and Teams meetings and that type of thing. Bring a bit of personality back into place.
It's a great way to hear it. It's a great story to hear, and I think you can tell that the fact that's driven by the founder, that resonates right through the full company into the branch in Kilmarnock and allows you to flourish, and clearly it's a great business model that's continuing to go from strength to strength. Now, you've spoken about the first big win, an amazing story. What would you say your hardest day that you've faced along the way has been?
We haven't had an awful lot of half days. Not days you would take out of context, and it's the normal for the building industry. We've had occasions where our biggest customer have went from an extremely large account to nothing in the space of 2 weeks because of outside something that was out of your control. It came off the back of COVID via a contractor that they were working for, were nearly going bust. They ended up with huge debts, basically sold down the team. So that take about 10% of the turnover, and that 10% is massive at that point. But we're back through it. We rebuilt it, and that customer is now back as one of our best customers.
Fantastic. And again, it's probably backing people when they're at their time of need, and the loyalty with us supporting them and some of the challenges that people face. It's out with their control. Nobody doesn't necessarily want to pay our bill or be able to keep going with orders or hold on to a purchase order they may have placed with you, but you supporting them, the longevity of that relationship then continues.
Well, it's kind of a full circle. Me and Matthew had a meeting with them about 9 months ago. We had pretty much exited all we have put there a 30 stocks of business, and they were in with new accounts. They were paying them reasonably well, but it's still a bit of a cash flow problem that was going to take 5-6 months to sort out. We've agreed a payment plan, we've banked them, and then they've turned to us and says, you guys must business as you want. You are our own supplier, that's the way you want it. And we'll have that with 2 or 3 clients, and it's built on the personnel we have, the service we offer, and everything that encompasses.
What does seem great, Colin, is the fact that whilst you are part of a bigger network and a bigger company, the fact that you're able to make those decisions yourself, you're able to work with people, you've got the autonomy to do that, and you've not got somebody in corporate kind of breathing down your neck. That's a great model, and great thing that allowing you to build it in a way that you see fit, and allowing you to make those decisions with suppliers, customers, and probably staff as well.
The staff of the thing here, we all work with the same agenda. We're all here to create a place. When you wake up in the morning, you're not terrified to come to your work. We try and make it sustainable, profitable, and somewhere where their futures are secure. We treat them as adults. I expect them to treat me as an adult back, and I expect their loyalty as they've heard that from me. They all know, every single person in here knows that if they've got a personal problem, they can walk in my door, and if I can't, I'll get them in anyway. But there's a line, that's got to come back. Don't get the mick out of it. But if somebody makes a mistake, sort of mistake, move it on. Don't hang them with a mistake. We are not a blame culture. We don't run a blame culture here. A couple of years into it, we had a slight problem. I lost the place completely. We shut the doors, we pulled the phone lines out, and it's now been referred to as Colin went to X. And it was all about, this is not what we set out to do. There's divides in here, there's petty squabbles in here, and I'm not having it. So it goes back to what we set up, which is we work for each other, we work for a common cause, we try and have a bit of fun, and if you don't want that, pick up like these balls and don't come back. Yeah. Fortunately, nobody left, because I didn't want anybody to leave. So it was a win-win situation by the time we get through it.
And you probably nipping that in the buds in the manner that you did had that effect, and people know from a top level you're not going to stand for that. And if there is problems, I mean, people working with people every single day, there's always issues, there's always disagreements, but it's how you deal with that, not holding grudges, and fundamentally you're all there for the same purpose.
Very much so. Nearly everyone in here has been in a position where they didn't enjoy where they worked. They had an element of fear attached to it. They worked in blame cultures. They're worried about making a mistake. We've tried to eradicate all that as much as we can, and just try and create a culture where if you come across something that's not right, sort it out. If you need to raise it with them, raise it with them, but tell them it's sorted before you raise it. And hopefully they'll do the same back for you. It's better for the customer and it's better for the workplace.
And that common approach that everybody seems to have and everybody has because it's been instilled in them allows for everybody to go in the same direction. Now, throughout your time, how many staff have you got working there just now?
We now have up to one, I believe we have.
What did you start off with back in 2017?
70.
Fantastic. And I take it it's just growing continually and bringing people through and building an ethos.
We grew fairly rapidly, which created its own problems, because every time we thought we were getting to the point, obviously we opened the doors. We actually opened officially in the week before Christmas 2018, without a sale, without a phone call, without a customer. It was dull. But every time we got to the point where we were about to go into bother, the business had grown that much, we then had to invest into resource, more followers, more noise, more staff. And it was becoming a bit of a problem for me and Matthew, because we were starting to get slightly worried. And as we all said to him, a guy called John Samuels down in Hull, who's a figures guy, teams meet with him. And he says, guys, you're taking 9 out of 10 boxes. You're growing quickly and we're having to fund our growth. And eventually it'll turn, it'll be fine. And this is all around. This is all around.
It must be nice having that support in the background, because I mean a lot of small businesses with the numbers that you're talking about don't necessarily have that in the lockup. It tends to be people who, they know they've got a good idea, a good vision, they work through it, but they don't necessarily have the skill set in the team that are able to look at that and give you that confidence. And it must be great to have that from the support you've got in Hull.
The support from Hull is great. I mean, I can lift the phone at any point and talk to the CEO, which is top person in the company, and she'll lift the phone and talk to me. I've done it in the evenings, down to the weekends. They're all there to help you. Everything from, as I say, the HR to credit control to health and safety. Normally health and safety within our company, everybody runs away from it. We've got a department down there that we can phone them and say, look, we're worried about this. What do you think? What should we do? And they'll help us. They'll take on themselves, or they'll talk us through the basic of handling the problem. And that's priceless. Absolutely priceless, that we don't think there's somebody head office going in for you.
They're all there to work.
And in the 7 years we've been open, every time I've got grace, be it to outsource vehicles, staff, want to do something slightly out with the box, want to back a customer where every other company would go, no, give me the shut you down, hoping that they'll go through it, and you'll see the benefits of that later on through their appreciation of what you've done for them. Every single thing we've asked for, we've had, and we'll be back to it.
An absolutely great company, and it's great to hear that driven from the top, it is so supportive, and you can tell, Colin, just speaking to you this morning and hearing about all the way in which you operate your business, it just shows such a great culture as part of the overall MKM group, and how that now affects the branch right here in Ayrshire.
Now streaming
Ayrshire Insights, hosted by Elliot Boyce.
This is Now Ayrshire Radio.
You're listening to Ayrshire Insights with me, Elliot Boyce, and we're still with this week's local legend, Colin Ego. And it's time to talk community charity and that unmistakable Ayrshire pride. But before we dive into MKM Kilmarnock's incredible community links, the listeners have been in touch and they've been letting us know their weekly bargains, the best thing they've managed to get for a tenner or less this week. So, Colin, it's over to you. What is your bargain of the week?
I'm not great with bargains, but what I will go with is my best buy in the last couple of years, which would be a therapy dog with an MKM called Rogue. I swore I would not get another dog after losing my other two, but Rogue brings out your sunshine to the office. Everybody loves him, customers love him, suppliers love him, and although he certainly was cheap, He's right up there with my lifetime base boys.
Brilliant. So you've got a dog that stays in MKM or through the day and everybody.
In my office.
Fantastic.
And he loves ears. He loves slitting it up your head if you're bald like I am. He's a character. He's a heart problem. He looks great, but he's actually seriously ill. But he's too really ill, it. And as I say, he's a character and he brings a life to the place.
What kind of dog is it?
It's a black Labrador.
So Rogue, the black Labrador therapy dog, and if you're ever in MKM Kilmarnock, pop in and ask for Rogue and he'll come and see you.
You'll get big licks from him.
Brilliant. Right, back to you. So what do you think of stations like us at Now Ayrshire Radio?
I love it. We used to, back in the first stock days, we dealt along with Westlands, local radio station, and then if I'm being honest, it kind of got away to that, so we stopped advertising. And when we got approached, we'd done some radio advertising, but we got approached from your colleague Anna, who's very hard to say no. With a look at it, and we decided, yes, we'll put on one with you guys. And we don't regret it. It's a local station with local guys. They pop in here, they cause chaos. We come in here, the road causes chaos. It's local, and it's what MKM's all about.
Fantastic, and that leads on really well to our next question. We really appreciate all the support that you give us as well. What does that local feeling mean to you, Colin?
Everything. Although I was 8 when I came here, I consider myself born and raised in Kilmarnock. I'm proud of where I come from. I'm proud to build a business and the life that I want to build and along with you. And it's nice to be able to, when the day comes that I'm going to walk away, to look back and go, we have created the best builders merchants here for seat. And in many ways, not just about what we turn over, but the environment and the culture. And that means everything. And that was one of the main reasons for setting off in first place.
Brilliant, and I mean, your local feeling and all the local people, the local suppliers, customers, everybody that comes together that makes you and helps you grow MKM Kilmarnock. Now, you are known for giving back, so tell us about some of the charities and things that you do locally.
We do quite a lot with football. We have done that with Kilmarnock, and at the moment we're in Beer United. We do a lot with what we refer as junior football teams in Ayrshire. So your Auckland Talbots, your Conran Juniors, and there's probably about 6 or 7 that we support. If they have any link with either be to players or committee members or something like that, we're quite happy to go along and help sponsor them. We do some things with boys clubs. We do what we Ayrshire Cancer Support. We try and support things like the hospice, we'll paying gala bills, that type of thing. It is harder and harder at the moment because money is at premium at the moment, and I think every business we say that at the moment, but we still help where we can, and know the way to support you guys. But obviously there's needs from our point of view, but a local radio station.
An amazing story, and great to hear about the fantastic work being done by the MKM team. We're going to find out about what's next for Colin, plus finish strong with a fun round just after this.
This is the Ayrshire Insights Podcast with Elliot Boyce.
Now Ayrshire.
I'm with Colin Eggle, co-director of MKM Kilmarnock, and it's now time for 5 fast ones. So Colin, don't think, don't pause, just fire out the first thing that comes into your head. Are you ready to play 5 fast ones?
I think so.
Let's go. Favourite takeaway?
Chinese.
Song that always lifts your mood?
Take it to the limit.
Best thing about Ayrshire?
The people.
Weirdest moment at work?
Every moment in my life lives are.
You're going to get caught for that one. And who plays you in a movie of your life?
Going to be Tom Hardy.
Brilliant, right? Thanks for playing 5 fast ones. We'll be asking our guests to get involved every single week. Now, looking ahead, Colin, what is next for you and the work that you're doing at MKM?
What's next for us is to continue what we're doing. That would involve more business, solidifying the business and building a business that can be carried on way past the time I'm involved in it.
Fantastic, and really looking forward to seeing the continued success of MKM in Kilmarnock. What's one thing that you hope for Ayrshir's future?
I think Ayrshire is viewed from a lot of people as being one of the gems of Scotland. And I think at the moment it's not quite that. It'd be nice to see town centres, the likes of Ayr. When I was growing up, Ayr was a place everybody went to. If we could get back to the place that people viewed Ayrshire, it is a beautiful place to visit. I believe it could do better, and it'd be nice to see getting back to them.
A bit more work done to try and regenerate the
Yes, very much so. And I think most people would probably agree with that.
Have you got any final shout-outs that you need to give? People that have been part of your journey you want to say a big shout-out and thanks to before we wrap things up this morning?
Yes. I've got biggest shout-out is to Matthew, Mark McQueen, my co-director. Matt has been my right-hand man all the way through it. He knew about it years before it started, and he stuck with the process, the bite, looking at times if it wasn't going to happen. My wife, Dora, who's in here working beside me, she puts up all the noises that it creates and my moods and all the rest. And a shout out for a man who helped me a long time ago was a chap called Bill Baxter, who's my finance director at First All Builders Merchants. I learnt a lot from him, and I didn't realise how much I learned from him until I had to step in here and do it myself. So all these guys, frontly and a bit back, yes, lots of people along the way, but these three people probably stand out.
Fantastic. Amazing to see. And then I think you're right, you go back to your finance director as well. I mean, at the times, I'm sure there was times you were looking going, why are we not doing this? Or you always push on. I mean, there's always a big difference between the people that are pushing the business in one way, and finance are always a bit more cock canny a little bit, pull you back.
There's a great Scottish rock called Crappit, and that's how you would have to describe Bill Baxter. Obviously, second name is Baxter, and sometimes his spelling are not altered at times. He was a hard man, but a fair man. He didn't let you slack. He could be very sore on you. And at times I probably deserved it. But he's all retired. He's still dodging away. And people like Hamish Wilson and Alexander Sommerlos, Alec O'Hara, his finance director, you learn from all these people. They're all different in their own ways, and they've all got their bits that you pick up, and I think that shapes you into the person you are, and you learn the lessons that you learn from them.
We hear it all the time, the peer-to-peer, speaking to the people and taking the snippets. I mean, you can look at the way anybody runs a business and go, you know what, I like that, don't like that too much. Take the best bits you see out of everybody to try and scope yourself, and you never know where you can end up and continuing to grow a really successful business.
Absolutely. I was unfortunate in the time it first started, where I was off my lot for 17 months. And my wages get paid every single month at the bank, and I was told not to worry about it. And that was a huge help, a very, very difficult time in my life. And I've remembered that, and up to today, in here, sick pay is at the discretion of the directors, and we are not getting a pay off anybody, because if you're ill-filled, the last thing you need is your bank could be short at the end of work. There's no something you should be worrying about if you're unwell. And as long as the guys in here shift in and do what we ask for them, once again, we'll support them as much as we can.
A great ethos to have, and what really is a great company right here in Ayrshire. Colin, a massive thank you for coming on the show this morning.
Thank you for having me.
This is the Ayrshire Insights Podcast.
Never miss an episode. Hit subscribe now.